Imagine a grand tourer from 1960s Britain, crafted with meticulous attention to detail and engineered for smooth, high-speed journeys, yet largely overlooked today. This is the story of the Alvis TE21, a car that quietly embodied the essence of British refinement without shouting for attention. Produced in limited numbers between 1963 and 1966, the TE21 remains a rare sight, overshadowed by the flashier names of Aston Martin, Jaguar, and Bentley. Despite its understated exterior and subtle charm, the TE21 offered a unique blend of craftsmanship and engineering, rooted in a company known more for its engineering expertise than mass-market luxury cars. Featuring a distinctive vertically arranged twin headlamp design and bodies crafted primarily by Mulliner Park Ward, the TE21 reflected a collaboration of British coach-building tradition and Swiss stylistic influence. Under its hood, a refined inline six-cylinder engine delivered a balance of performance and smoothness, paired with advanced features such as independent front suspension and four-wheel disc brakes. Yet its exclusivity and restrained elegance limited its commercial reach and left it largely forgotten in the grand narrative of British automotive history. To understand why this remarkable grand tour faded from popular memory, we must first explore the engineering heritage of Alvis, the company that brought it to life. To understand the TE21's story, we first explore the illustrious engineering heritage of Alvis, the company behind this remarkable automobile. To appreciate the quiet sophistication of the Alvis TE21, it's essential to look beyond the car itself and understand the deep engineering roots of the company that created it. Founded in the early 20th century, Alvis established a reputation far broader than just automobile manufacturing. From its earliest days, the company was synonymous with precision engineering and technical innovation, a legacy that would shape every vehicle it produced. Unlike many contemporaries who focused solely on car production, Alvis developed expertise across a range of specialized engineering fields. This diverse background was not incidental. It informed the company's approach to design and craftsmanship, lending the TE21 a refined character that set it apart from flashier British sports cars of the era. The TE21 was not a standalone luxury experiment, but rather the culmination of decades of engineering tradition and technical discipline. By the 1960s, Alvis was recognized not only for its automobiles, but also for its contributions to military and specialized vehicle manufacturing, demonstrating a versatility that few British carmakers could claim. This engineering pedigree translated into the TE21's mechanical sophistication. Its inline six-cylinder engine, advanced suspension setup, and four-wheel disc brakes reflected a commitment to quality and performance rooted in Alvis's extensive technical experience. Moreover, the company's understanding of intricate craftsmanship extended into the car's construction, where careful attention to detail and labor-intensive assembly processes were standard. This approach contributed to the TE21's exclusivity and high cost, but also to its enduring appeal among those who valued understated elegance and engineering integrity over overt showmanship. While Alvis never matched the marketing reach or international renown of Aston Martin, Jaguar, or Bentley, its reputation for solid engineering and refined execution was well regarded among discerning enthusiasts. The company's acquisition by Rover in 1965 marked a turning point, coinciding with the final years of Alvis passenger car production and the transition from the TE21 to its successor, the TF21. Despite ending passenger car manufacturing in 1967, Alvis's engineering spirit continued, underscoring that the TE21 was part of a broader narrative of British industrial craftsmanship and innovation. Understanding this context helps explain why the TE21 remains a rare and understated gem. Its roots in a multifaceted engineering firm rather than a pure luxury brand gave it a distinctive place in British automotive history. This legacy of technical breadth meant that Alvis approached each new model with a perspective shaped by more than just automotive trends. Their engineers and craftsmen drew on a culture of problem-solving and attention to detail that was rare even among Britain's most respected marques. For the TE21, this translated into a car that quietly embodied the values of its maker: subtlety, reliability, and a sense of purpose that appealed to those who appreciated substance over spectacle. With this foundation in engineering excellence, the story turns to the artistic influences that shape the TE21's distinctive coach-built design. Behind the TE21's elegant lines lies a story of artistic collaboration spanning Switzerland and Britain, where coach building was a craft of refinement and subtlety. The origins of the TE21's design can be traced back to the influence of Hermann Graber, a Swiss coach builder renowned for his tasteful, understated approach to automotive styling. Graber's work was characterized by smooth, flowing surfaces and a restrained elegance that avoided the flashier trends of the era, favoring instead timeless proportions and meticulous detailing. This sensibility found its way into Alvis's vision for the TE21, shaping the car's original aesthetic groundwork. However, the majority of TE21s were not bodied by Graber himself. Instead, the task of bringing this Swiss-inspired design to life for the broader market fell to Mulliner Park Ward, one of Britain's most respected coach builders. Known for their ability to blend craftsmanship with production practicality, Mulliner Park Ward adapted Graber's styling cues into a body that could be built with consistent quality while retaining that same sense of refined sophistication. The result was a two-door sports saloon and a more exclusive drop-head coupe that embodied quiet luxury rather than flamboyance. Mulliner Park Ward's contribution was more than mere replication. They evolved the design, integrating British coach-building traditions and their own expertise to enhance the TE21's character. The bodies they produced featured the car's signature vertically arranged twin headlamp design, a subtle yet distinctive detail that became one of the model's most recognizable exterior features. Their craftsmanship extended beyond aesthetics, ensuring that the bodywork harmonized with the TE21's engineering, emphasizing smooth, high-speed touring and restrained elegance. It's important to distinguish these standard-bodied TE21s from the smaller number of bespoke Alvis automobiles that were directly bodied by Hermann Graber in Switzerland. These Graber-bodied specials were often commissioned by individual clients seeking a more personalized expression of the car's potential. While sharing the same fundamental engineering, these bespoke cars displayed unique touches and variations that reflected Graber's artisanal approach, a reminder of an era when coach building allowed for intimate collaboration between designer and owner. This duality between the Swiss coach builder's artisanal influence and the British coach builder's refined production methods placed the TE21 in a distinctive position. It bridged the gap between traditional coach-built luxury automobiles and the more aggressively marketed British sports cars of the 1960s. At a time when many manufacturers pursued bold, attention-grabbing designs, the TE21 instead embraced subtlety and craftsmanship, appealing to buyers who valued understated sophistication. The TE21's coach-built identity was a testament to a period when automotive design was an art form shaped by collaboration. Designers, engineers, and craftsmen worked closely to create vehicles that were not just machines, but expressions of taste and refinement. This approach, while limiting the car's production scale, contributed to its rarity and exclusivity, factors that have led to its relative obscurity compared to more widely known British marques. With its coach-built silhouette established, the TE21's distinctive exterior features and design philosophy come into focus. In an era when many British sports cars favored bold, attention-grabbing designs, the Alvis TE21 took a decidedly different approach, one of quiet dignity and refined understatement. Its styling was not about flamboyance, but about a balanced harmony that spoke to a discerning owner who valued craftsmanship over flash. At the heart of the TE21's visual identity was its distinctive vertically arranged twin headlamp setup. This feature, uncommon at the time, gave the car a poised and confident front fascia, setting it apart without resorting to ostentation. The twin headlights were not merely a design flourish. They contributed to the TE21's dignified presence, projecting an image of subtle sophistication rather than aggressive sportiness. The TE21's body lines evolved from earlier Alvis models, notably drawing on the influence of Swiss coach builder Hermann Graber. However, the standard bodies were crafted by Mulliner Park Ward, a name synonymous with British coach building excellence. Their work ensured that the TE21's form was as carefully considered as its function, with smooth, flowing curves that emphasized the car's grand touring purpose. Unlike some contemporaries that favored sharp angles or exaggerated features, the TE21 embraced restraint. Its design language was one of timeless refinement, where every line and contour served to enhance high-speed touring comfort and aerodynamic grace. The exterior surfaces were meticulously finished, reflecting the labor-intensive craftsmanship that went into each car. This attention to detail extended beyond mere aesthetics. The Mulliner Park Ward bodywork was built to exacting standards, blending durability with elegance. The TE21 was offered primarily in two body styles: the two-door sports saloon and the more exclusive drop-head coupe. The latter, produced in significantly smaller numbers, added an open-air dimension to the grand touring experience, wrapped in the same understated luxury that defined the saloon. Both versions shared the same visual DNA, with the drop-head's soft top complementing the car's graceful proportions rather than disrupting them. Inside and out, the TE21 avoided the temptation to chase fleeting trends. Instead, it embodied a British tradition of craftsmanship, where leather upholstery, wood trim, and individually finished details came together to create an environment of quiet luxury. This restrained approach extended to the exterior paint choices and chrome accents, which were thoughtfully applied to enhance rather than dominate the car's presence. Ultimately, the TE21's design reflected its unique position in the British automotive landscape. It occupied a space between the bespoke, coach-built luxury cars of the past and the more aggressively marketed British sports cars of the 1960s. Its visual identity was a statement of intent. This was a grand tourer built for smooth, effortless high-speed travel, crafted with care and meant to be appreciated by those who understood subtlety and quality. While it lacked the flash of some rivals, its elegance was undeniable, a quiet confidence that has endured even as the TE21 slipped into relative obscurity. Beneath this elegant exterior, the TE21's engine delivered the smooth power befitting a true grand tourer. At the core of the TE21 lies an engine crafted for effortless, refined power, a perfect match for its grand touring ambitions. The Alvis TE21 was powered by a long-established 2,993cc inline six-cylinder engine, a design deeply rooted in the company's engineering heritage. This engine, though not revolutionary in displacement or outright horsepower, was carefully revised to produce around 130 brake horsepower, a figure that might seem modest compared to some of its more aggressive contemporaries. Yet, this was precisely the point. Rather than chasing raw speed, Alvis focused on delivering smooth, reliable power that could sustain high-speed touring with grace and composure. The inline-six configuration itself was a hallmark of balanced performance. Known for its inherent smoothness, the six-cylinder layout minimized vibrations, providing a level of refinement that was essential for a grand tourer intended to cover long distances comfortably. This engine wasn't designed to scream at the track. Instead, it offered a steady, reassuring delivery of torque that made highway cruising both relaxed and responsive. Drivers appreciated the way the engine responded to throttle inputs with an assured subtlety, allowing them to maintain momentum effortlessly. Transmission choices further enhanced this experience. Buyers could opt for a ZF 5-speed manual gearbox, a relatively advanced option at the time that gave the driver precise control over the car's performance. This manual transmission complemented the engine's character, allowing for smooth gear changes and an engaging driving experience without sacrificing refinement. Alternatively, an automatic transmission was available for those who prioritized ease and comfort, underscoring the TE21's versatility as a grand tourer tailored to varying tastes. In the landscape of British grand tours during the early 1960s, the TE21's powertrain stood apart by prioritizing a harmonious blend of tradition and modernity. While marques like Aston Martin and Jaguar often emphasized more aggressive performance and flamboyant styling, Alvis leaned into its engineering roots, crafting an engine that embodied steady progress rather than dramatic leaps. This approach helped define the TE21's character as a gentleman's tourer, a car meant to be appreciated for its craftsmanship and composure rather than outright speed. This balance between power and refinement was not just a mechanical choice, but a reflection of Alvis's broader philosophy. The company was established as an engineering firm long before it ventured into luxury automobiles, and that heritage was evident in the TE21's powertrain. It was a machine designed with precision and care, aiming to deliver a driving experience that matched the understated elegance of its design. While the TE21's engine might not have captured headlines for breaking performance records, it earned respect for its reliability and suitability to the grand touring lifestyle. The combination of a smooth inline-six, thoughtful revisions to power output, and transmission options that catered to different drivers all contributed to a powertrain that felt perfectly at home beneath the TE21's refined exterior. Beneath this carefully engineered power plant, the TE21's chassis, suspension, and brakes ensured a poised and comfortable ride. Complementing this powertrain, the TE21's chassis, suspension, and brakes ensured a poised and comfortable ride. Beyond power, the TE21's true strength lay in its sophisticated chassis and braking system, delivering a driving experience both composed and confident. While the engine provided the necessary thrust, it was the underlying engineering that shaped how the car felt on the road, smooth, balanced, and reassuring over long distances. At the heart of this was the TE21's independent front suspension, a notable advancement for British Grand Tours of the early 1960s. Employing coil springs rather than traditional leaf springs, this setup allowed each front wheel to respond independently to road imperfections. The result was a ride that absorbed bumps with grace, maintaining tire contact and stability without sacrificing comfort. Drivers could enjoy spirited cruising without the jarring harshness often associated with sports cars of the era. Complementing this refined suspension was the TE21's use of four-wheel disc brakes, a feature that set it apart from many contemporaries still relying on drum brakes at the rear. Disc brakes offered more consistent stopping power and better heat dissipation, crucial for a car designed to sustain high speeds comfortably over long distances. This braking system contributed to a sense of safety and control, enhancing the grand touring character rather than focusing solely on outright performance. The chassis itself was engineered to support the elegant coach-built bodywork, primarily crafted by Mulliner Park Ward. This partnership blended traditional craftsmanship with modern engineering principles, ensuring that the body and frame worked in harmony. The result was a rigid yet supple platform that preserved the car's poised handling and minimized unwanted flex or vibration. In an era when British Grand Tourers often leaned toward either luxurious opulence or aggressive sportiness, the TE21 occupied a distinctive middle ground. Its engineering choices reflected a commitment to understated refinement, rather than flashy performance figures. The suspension and braking systems were not just technical specifications. They embodied the car's philosophy, smooth high-speed touring with an emphasis on driver confidence and passenger comfort. These features made the TE21 well-suited for the gentleman driver who valued craftsmanship and composure over showmanship. This balance was further evident in the way the chassis accommodated the car's weight and dimensions, delivering a stable yet responsive feel on winding roads and motorways alike. In combining advanced suspension technology with reliable braking and a strong chassis foundation, Alvis created a grand tourer that was both modern and respectful of traditional British automotive values. Such engineering refinement, though subtle, was a defining element of the TE21's character and helped explain its appeal to a discerning clientele. Such attention to engineering detail was not merely a matter of technical progress, but a reflection of Alvis's broader philosophy as an established engineering company. The TE21's chassis refinement underscored the marque's commitment to delivering a driving experience that balanced tradition with thoughtful innovation, tailored for discerning enthusiasts. These engineering qualities were wrapped in two distinctive body styles, each reflecting the character of the gentleman driver. Each reflecting the character of the gentleman driver. The Alvis TE21 presented itself most commonly as a two-door sports saloon, a form that embodied the essence of a classic British Grand Tourer. This closed profile offered an air of discreet sophistication, perfectly suited for all-weather touring across the varied landscapes of Europe and beyond. Its restrained lines, softened by the craftsmanship of Mulliner Park Ward, projected an elegance that was never ostentatious but quietly assured. Inside, the sports saloon's cabin combined traditional British leather upholstery and polished wood trim, delivering a refined environment where comfort and craftsmanship met. This body style was the backbone of TE21 production, favored by those who valued the blend of practicality and understated luxury. In contrast, the drophead coupe represented a rarer, more exclusive expression of the TE21's character. With its open-air design, it invited a different kind of experience, one of leisurely drives with the wind and sun, appealing to a clientele that prized a more flamboyant yet still tasteful presence. The drophead's smaller production numbers underscore its role as a specialized alternative rather than the mainstream choice. Its design maintained the same disciplined elegance as the sports saloon, but added a dynamic, almost romantic element to the car's personality. Beyond these standard Mulliner Park Ward-bodied models, there existed a handful of bespoke Alvis TE21s directly bodied by Hermann Graber in Switzerland. These cars, distinct in both provenance and often in styling details, highlight the TE21's connection to traditional coach building and bespoke craftsmanship. Still, they remain separate from the more numerous British-bodied examples and serve as a reminder of the era's bespoke automotive culture. Together, these body styles, one enclosed and reserved, the other open and expressive, embodied the TE21's unique place between the worlds of traditional luxury and performance-oriented sports cars. Neither shouted for attention nor sought to overwhelm with flash. Instead, they offered a gentlemanly sophistication that was as much about subtlety and refinement as it was about engineering prowess. This duality in design mirrored the car's broader identity, appealing to discerning buyers who appreciated quality without the need for showmanship. For many owners, the choice between the sports saloon and the drophead coupe was as much about personal philosophy as it was about aesthetics or practicality. The closed saloon appealed to those who valued privacy and year-round usability, while the open drophead attracted enthusiasts drawn to the pleasures of open motoring and the sense of occasion it brought to even the simplest journey. Both variants reflected Alvis's commitment to individualized craftsmanship, with interiors that could be tailored to the buyer's preferences, resulting in subtle differences from car to car. This attention to detail reinforced the TE21's reputation as a car for connoisseurs rather than the mass market. Yet, despite its qualities, the TE21 remained overshadowed, caught between rarity, cost, and fierce competition. In a crowded field of British automotive stars, the TE21's quiet dignity and rarity rendered it a hidden treasure rather than a household name. Approximately 350 units were produced between 1963 and 1966, making the TE21 a significantly rarer sight compared to contemporaries from Aston Martin, Jaguar, or Bentley. This scarcity was not merely a matter of chance, but a direct result of Alvis's commitment to labor-intensive craftsmanship and meticulous engineering. Each TE21 embodied traditional British coach-building values, with bodies crafted primarily by Mulliner Park Ward and stylistic roots tracing back to Hermann Graber's Swiss influence. This dedication to detail came at a cost, both literally and figuratively. The TE21's price tag placed it firmly in the hands of a limited clientele, restricting its commercial reach during a period when the British luxury and sports car market was fiercely competitive and dominated by larger, better-funded marques. Unlike the flashier competitors, the TE21 did not rely on aggressive marketing campaigns or a high-profile racing pedigree to boost its reputation. Instead, it carved out a niche defined by restrained elegance and technical refinement. Its vertically arranged twin headlamp design and understated lines reflected a focus on timeless style rather than fleeting trends. Under the hood, the well-established 2,993cc inline six-cylinder engine offered a smooth and capable touring experience, paired with advanced features for its time, including independent front suspension and four-wheel disc brakes. Yet, these qualities were often overshadowed by the louder voices of brands that embraced a more extroverted image or boasted racing success. The TE21's interior further echoed its ethos of craftsmanship, frequently featuring leather upholstery and wood trim, with individually finished details that varied from car to car. This bespoke character underscored the bespoke nature of the model, but also contributed to its exclusivity and limited production. While this approach ensured a level of quality and individuality, it also meant the TE21 lacked the volume and visibility that helped establish other British Grand Tours as icons. Adding to its obscurity was the timing of Alvis's own corporate journey. Rover's acquisition of a controlling interest in Alvis in 1965 coincided with the TE21's final production years. This period of transition may have contributed to a quieter market presence, just as the TE21 was giving way to its successor, the TF21. The TF21, introduced in 1966, would become the last series production passenger car from Alvis, marking the end of an era for a company better known for engineering excellence than mass-market luxury cars. Ultimately, the TE21's rarity, understated styling, and limited international recognition combined to relegate it to the sidelines of British automotive history. Its craftsmanship and refined character remain undeniable, yet it never quite captured the public imagination in the way Aston Martin, Jaguar, or Bentley did. This quiet grand tourer represents a distinct chapter, one where engineering tradition and subtle elegance quietly endured amidst a field of louder, more celebrated rivals. By 1966, the TE21's time was drawing to a close, as Alvis prepared to hand over the baton to a successor amid shifting company fortunes. As the 1960s drew to a close, Alvis found itself at a crossroads. The TE21, a model that had quietly embodied British craftsmanship and engineering refinement since its introduction in 1963, was nearing the end of its production run. By 1966, the company introduced the TF21, a more powerful successor designed to carry forward the grand touring tradition. While the TF21 offered increased performance, it was produced only briefly before Alvis made the difficult decision to cease passenger car manufacturing altogether in 1967. This transition was shaped in part by broader shifts within the company itself. In 1965, Rover acquired a controlling interest in Alvis, bringing new corporate influence to bear on its operations. Rover's involvement came during a period when the British motor industry was undergoing rapid consolidation, and smaller marques like Alvis faced mounting challenges competing against better-known brands with larger production capabilities and international reach. The TF21, though more powerful, retained many of the TE21's hallmark qualities: understated elegance, meticulous build quality, and a focus on smooth, refined touring rather than outright sportiness. Yet, it arrived too late to reverse the decline in Alvis's passenger car fortunes. Production numbers remained limited, underscoring the exclusivity that had always defined the marque, but also restricting its commercial viability. By 1967, Alvis made the strategic choice to end passenger car production. However, this did not mark the end of the company itself. Alvis continued to build on its engineering expertise, shifting focus to specialized vehicles and military applications. This pivot allowed the company to maintain its reputation for technical excellence, even as its grand tours became a chapter of automotive history. The TE21's place in this narrative is significant. It represents the culmination of Alvis's passenger car ambitions, a finely crafted, rare grand tour that bridged traditional coach building with modern mechanical advancements. Its restrained styling and limited production meant it never achieved the widespread fame of Aston Martin, Jaguar, or Bentley. Yet, it remains a testament to a distinct era when British marques balanced elegance, engineering, and exclusivity in ways that few others did. This final phase of Alvis passenger car production reflects both the challenges faced by niche manufacturers and the changing tastes of the automotive market in the mid-1960s. The TE21 and its successor, the TF21, stand as enduring symbols of a bygone era, one defined by hand-finished interiors, bespoke coachwork influences, and a commitment to refined touring rather than mass-market appeal. Though the TE21's production ended over half a century ago, its story continues to resonate with collectors and enthusiasts who appreciate the subtlety and craftsmanship it embodies. The legacy of Alvis's passenger cars is not measured by volume or headline-grabbing achievements, but by the quiet excellence and engineering integrity that still captivate those who seek out these rare British Grand Tours. For many, the TE21's rarity and understated presence have only deepened its appeal, inviting a quieter appreciation among those who value discreet distinction. Yet the TE21's story did not end with its production. Its legacy endures among collectors and enthusiasts today. Though often overshadowed by flashier British marques, the Alvis TE21's quiet elegance and meticulous craftsmanship have ensured its lasting appeal among discerning collectors and enthusiasts. This Grand Tourer embodies a unique blend of traditional coach-building artistry and modern engineering sophistication, a balance rarely seen in its era. With its refined 2,993cc inline six-cylinder engine, advanced suspension, and four-wheel disc brakes, the TE21 was a serious contender in the luxury touring segment, even if it never sought the limelight. Its restrained styling, highlighted by the distinctive vertically arranged twin headlights and Mulliner Park Ward bodywork, speaks to a different kind of British luxury, one that values understatement over ostentation. The limited production, approximately 350 units, and the labor-intensive construction contributed to its rarity, making it a prized possession for those who appreciate automotive history beyond the usual icons. The TE21 also marks a significant chapter in Alvis's story, reflecting the company's engineering heritage and its final years in passenger car manufacturing before the transition to the TF21 and eventual focus on specialized vehicles. While it never matched the commercial success or international fame of Aston Martin or Jaguar, the TE21's legacy is no less important. It stands as a testament to a time when British Grand Tours were crafted with an emphasis on quality, comfort, and subtle sophistication. What aspects of the TE21's design or history do you find most intriguing? If you enjoy exploring these lesser-known chapters of automotive heritage, consider subscribing for more stories like this. Conclude the documentary about Alvis TE21, Britain's forgotten gentleman's grand tour, naturally, and invite viewers to comment and subscribe.